Welcome back to Morning Talk on the Talk of Mid-Utah, KSVC 980 AM and 100.5 FM. Robert Lovell with you alongside Porter Huntsman. Time now for our Radio Roundup interview, and today we are joined by Sevier School District Superintendent Cade Douglas and Ashland Elementary Principal Jill Porter. And Cade, Jill, thanks for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, glad to have you on to talk about what's happening with Sevier School District. Of course, just a block up from my house, I see the construction happening at South Sevier Middle School, and my sixth grader says the new part of the school at least is awesome.
It is. We are very excited about the school, and you would know as well as anyone where it's right there in your neighborhood. It's beautiful. It's really on a kind of up on a hill. It's in a great location. It's 2 stories. It looks great. The color schemes are coming together really nicely. It's a beautiful building. We have board meeting today, and our board members are going to do a walkthrough this morning, and we're just super excited to show them the building and the kids in the building. Just kind of a reminder how we've typically done construction in Sevier School District. It's something we're very proud of, where we try not to at least leave an old building that just goes vacant, and then eventually just it becomes difficult in the community. And we've been able to have phased buildings. That's how we've built all of our buildings so far. And that's what we've done at South Sevier Middle School, where the classrooms are now built. The students have now moved into the classroom. So half the building, or a little more than half, is done. And it's where it's classrooms. So we've moved them out, and they're into the classrooms, and we have an office, and it's working. And now we've demoed the old building. And really, the second half is the cafeteria, which will also function as a gym, kind of an extra gym, and the band room, and then just some administrative rooms, like a faculty room and some different rooms. It's funny because there's only 2 or 3 things, but it makes up the other half of the building.
Right. Some big rooms in the building.
Yes,
I guess.
Exactly. But we just couldn't be happier with how it's come together. It's beautiful. The teachers are happy. I saw a picture the other day on Twitter. The great majority of that faculty and staff went to school at the old building, and they're as excited as anyone to see a new building, and they have a lot of memories in that old building, but it was time to go. It really was run down and old and had a lot of issues. So we're excited about that.
What's the rest of the timeline on it? I know it's a couple years project, so where are we at?
So we're actually hoping by the start of school next year, everything will be complete. It's a very rigorous timeline, but very possible. And the nice thing is we're not really pressed for time at this point because we have a place for the kids to be. It's safe. The classrooms are functioning. They are having lunch in the current gym, which is a little tricky. The band room's difficult because they're meeting in a really tight space. So there's some struggles, but really if it takes a little more time, we're okay. We're in a really good place with construction. So it makes it easy to just plan on starting school, if not sooner, the following year. So I think it could happen much sooner than that. So.
All right. So a good timeline on that right now. Other issues right now, of course, happening with Sevier School District. And one of the things I know you wanted to touch on was attendance and what you're seeing right now. It's an ongoing problem, but has gotten a little bit worse this year.
Yeah, I think due to COVID, attendance has become even more of a challenge. And we just want to remind all of your listeners, all of our parents and grandparents out there, community members, that our schools are really, according to the data, it's the safest place you can have your kid. Very, very unlikely that they'll have any issues with COVID. We follow social distancing very closely, mask wearing. We do everything in our power to keep the kids safe. We've had an excellent and I would say miraculous school year. As you compare us with other school districts, even in our own state and especially out of state, our neighboring states like New Mexico and California, some of those other neighboring states, just the fact that we've been able to be in school every day and have a personal face-to-face experience is really quite miraculous. But attendance, which is chronic absenteeism, is what we're talking about. Missing school every now and then. We're in school 180 days a year. And if kids, they miss for things. There's going to be things that they miss some school. But where we see the real problems is with chronic absenteeism. It's something I want to talk a lot more about in the coming year. I think I'll even do some ads and get out on the radio and remind parents that the statistics are so they've been there forever. If you miss school, you don't do well in school. If you're not there, your ability to pass the class and earn credit and go on and graduate and go on and have a career or go into college become much less likely. State data shows 1 in 10 kindergarten and first grade students are nationally or chronically absent. By sixth grade, you could ask any of our middle school principals, students that are missing school, they can guarantee that they'll struggle through school, they'll struggle they generally drop out, they don't have success graduating from high school. I don't know, it's like my parents have taught me forever. 90% of success is showing up. I find that more and more true with everything I do. We need kids in school, and we need our whole community involved. We need all of our kids in school. Our system is so fragile and so small in Sevier County. We need full participation in Sevier School District with all of our families. All of our programs are fantastic. I was in the classes, I was in every teacher's classroom last week, and it is amazing. It's just awe-inspiring to see what the teachers are doing. We have the best of the best, and our culture continues to improve. So school's a great place to be. It's a fun place to be.
If you don't mind, one of the things we have found is with COVID, kindergartners missed out that second half of their school year, and it really has affected them. And we need those kids back in school. You can see academically a huge difference. There is a gap there, and we can't fix that unless the parents get their kids to school.
Can I ask real quick? So
Yes.
Current kindergartners or current now first graders?
Now first graders. So, okay. Now first graders. You can see a very large gap because kindergarten is so essential. They say that kindergarten is not, what do you call it?
It's not compulsory.
Not
it's not
compulsory.
mandatory to attend
It's not
kindergarten.
mandatory. And so you do see a lot of absenteeism there. But it is a critical age. And there is a big difference between kindergarten and first grade. And when you miss that section and miss so much school, it is hard for children to get caught up. And this year we are playing a lot of catch up in kindergarten, first and second grades. But we've seen so much absenteeism that it really is affecting the school. And so I just want to encourage parents, please bring your children to school. It is the best place for them to be. Children love school. They love the interaction with other students. And the teachers are working so hard this year to get our students caught up. And we are seeing some great results, but we do need the kids there.
So, I mean, we know it's a unique year, and people are saying if they have symptoms, don't bring them to school. Those things. Is it just a concern that might be being abused a little bit? Probably not just K through 2, but really throughout the district.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that it's time to remind ourselves and remind society in general that school is a great place to be physically, social, emotionally, mentally. It's just a great place to be. You have people there that love you. You're with your peers. It's a fun place to be. It's orderly. It's organized. It teaches them so many different aspects. And academically, it's a no-brainer. When I study our district and Sevier School District very closely, the number of students that we have failing, the number of students that have 1 F or more than 1 F in high school and middle school, and that data is directly tied to attendance. If you're in school, you generally have success in our classrooms. Our teachers are doing everything in their power to help you have a successful experience in school. So it's just like Mrs. Porter said, we need kids in school. We need to remind ourselves and think twice before taking that extra long vacation or and even those things can still happen and we can still overcome, but it's the chronic absenteeism that really kills us. It makes it so difficult when students are missing 30, 40 days out of the 180. It's hard to help them get the growth they need.
And you talked a lot about the importance of students being in school. And last year we saw a lot of students having to do at-home learning. Are you guys this year seeing an effect from that is carrying over, and are students able to bounce back with now being back in person?
Very much seeing an effect.
We are, and that's one of the things I'll talk about this year. I was talking about kindergarten, who are now our first grade students. We're seeing a big learning gap there, and so we have started our after-school reading club with these students. That we've identified some students that are having a struggle getting caught up, and so students are coming after school, they have a treat. They go outside, they play for a minute, and then we bring them in, and we have 15 teachers or instructional assistants that pull them and work with them on specific skills. And we do have our iReady program. We do have Upstart program that the kids are working on that is helping them to get caught up. And we looked at their scores yesterday, as a matter of fact, and we are seeing a huge growth in these kids. Just in the 6 weeks that we have been doing this program, these kids are catching up. And so it goes with what the superintendent said. If you are there, we can do tremendous things. And I was so very proud of the parents that we called the parents and we said, we want to start this program. Would you agree to pick your child up at 4 o'clock? And we had a tremendous yes given to us. We were very surprised because we thought parents would say, we don't have a way to get them home. They have to ride the bus. We need them here or there. And we had only 2 parents that say, we're sorry, we can't have our child there. We have no way to get them home. We have seen tremendous support and great success, and we're very excited about this program to the extent that we want to do it again next year because we think we can continually help these kids. And next year we want to offer it to 2nd grade and the 1st grade students and see what we can do with more students. So
continually just close that gap.
Yes,
basically.
Close the gap, because I think you're going to see a gap with COVID.
Yep.
For a few years, and we just need to keep working. But my teachers agreed to it, my IAs agreed to it, the parents agreed to it, and it has just been a tremendous success. We're very proud of the work that was done.
It's amazing. It's fun, and that's one of the fun little problems that they're having is all the kids want to. This is about 50 students, and Mrs. Porter has about 170 students in that grade level. It's fair to say that's about how many we have in Richfield. And all the students, they want, well, how do I get in? I want to join. I want a part of this club. And really, all the kids likely will have an opportunity as we build these types of things. Every student has areas of weakness that they're working to improve, and kids will move in and out of these types of programs to get the support they need. But again, so much of it comes back to attendance, parental involvement, reading with your children. And when you talk attendance, when we're talking kindergarten through 6th grade students, we're relying solely on the parents. I mean, these little kids, they have to have their parents help them to get to school. Once we get a little older, we still rely on parents, even with high school kids. But yet, as they get into middle school, 7th, 8th, and into high school, the kids can get up and get themselves ready and get to school. Some of it comes, some of that load falls back on the student, and we continue to work with them. Our goal is to have the most, I get joked at by Mrs. Nilsson, the Southsbury Middle School principal, because she loves Disneyland so much, but I want the happiest place on earth. I want kids to want to be in school every day and to feel loved and have opportunity and excitement and energy and feel safe. And we're getting there. We really are. Our schools are great places to be. There's still some things we're working on with culture and ensuring that every student's successful, but we're really getting there. But we need parents. We need support. We need everyone to participate. And that's really the coolest part of Jill's story, I think, is 50, right around 50 students, every single parent. Yes, where do I sign? How can I do this? They were willing to help us with transportation and picking them up a little later. And why not? What a great fun program.
Right. And we're going to have our graduation with these students and their parents this Thursday. So the kids will be able to show their parents what they've been doing, the success that they've been making. And then the kids, on the fun end of it, they're going to teach them their secret handshake that they had to get in the club. They're going to teach them their dance that they learned. And so we're going to share fun things with it, but we're also going to share the academic part and show the parents how much their child has grown with it. So there are amazing things that teachers are doing to help get children caught up and where they need to be. At Ashman, our goal is we want to have 80% of our students on grade level, but in order to do that, we need the kids there. And we would love to have 100%. but it just takes a lot of work, and we're willing to put it in if the parents will get their children to school and help us out. Great things can happen.
Yeah. So great program. You mentioned graduation. We're getting short on time, Cade, but let's come back to that as there are some changes in graduations a little bit this year.
Yeah, a couple of minor changes in timing. So graduation it will be on Friday, May 28th at the Sevier Valley Center where we've always hosted. Cedar Ridge is at 10 o'clock. It's been that way for many, many years. North Sevier High School has been moved up to noon. And then Richfield High School at 2:30 and South Sevier High School at 5. And then what we'll likely do is rotate between those three times. Cedar Ridge will always be at 10, but then we'll start a rotation process where
with the other three
where we bump. Yep. So we're really excited about that. And it, like I said earlier, off the air, it's really fun to have Mrs. Porter because she was so many years a high school teacher and coach and principal. And she can see more than anyone how important it is to get the kids on grade level and on target and good habits and attending school in kindergarten, first and second grade. You accomplish it there, and they're on the path to success from a very young time. So it's exciting. We appreciate you having us on. And
is there anything else you wanted to make sure to touch on today?
Just excited for spring sports. Things are going very, very well. We do one last thing that's so cool that we've started a tradition over the last, I think this will be our 4th year. We call it senior walks, where the graduating seniors will show up, and this happens in May right before graduation, in their cap and gown, and they walk the halls of the elementary schools. And those elementary students line the halls and cheer for them and see them, and they know them. And, one little side effect that I didn't even see coming when we started this tradition, we'd seen it done in other districts, was the teachers there cheering those students on. And every one of them, it's very emotional to see those kids as graduating seniors. And they taught them. They taught them when they were little kids, and they're very proud of them. And it brings a synergy that's really exciting. And we do that in all 3 attendance areas, and we're excited for that coming up.
It's actually scheduled for May 19th, and they're coming to my school at 10:40, and the kids absolutely love it. They idolize those seniors, those kids. They see them, they see their brothers, they see the athletes, they see the drama students, the cheerleaders, everyone that has come to our school and read to them. And then they see them walk through the school. And it's just an amazing thing. It's
so cool. It's good for the seniors and to be cheered, and celebrate. It's great for the little kids to see, and then the teachers. And it's just it's a great tradition. It's a fun thing. So I'm just very grateful to everyone for getting, this has been a rough year, but it's been a very successful year, and it's fun to see we're getting into April and May. So
yeah, hard to believe it's graduation's just barely over a month away.
Good to hear the crack of those baseball bats. And I was at a track meet yesterday, got a sunburn. It's a great time of year. Just great to be alive in Sevier County for sure.
Yeah. Well, once again, Sevier School District Superintendent Cade Douglas and Ashland Elementary Principal Jill Porter, thank you too for coming on today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
All right, there we go. There's our Radio Roundup interview here on Morning Talk.